Hey everyone, I'm Spencer.
I'm Lara.
And we are married with board games, and you're joining us for our top 100 games of all time countdown.
More specifically,
numbers 60 through 51.
Right.
We're almost halfway through the list.
I know, and it's starting to get pretty close.
It is. Man, we've got ties.
We've been having to settle some ties to finalize our list before we record for you guys, and it's getting pretty close.
It is. It's really hard to break those ties. So.
It is.
But we're able to do it. Quick reminder, if you're just joining us, make sure you go back and start at the beginning. We discuss how we came up with this list. Basically, it's the top 100 games we enjoy playing the most, and we rank them based on our enjoyment of them. And, pretty much that's all there is to it. But we go into more details there. But you don't want to miss all the other games we talked about, too. So start there, then come back to this one. Otherwise, if you're all caught up, let's get started.
All right, starting this portion of our list off at number 60 is Raise Your Goblets.
From CMON Limited, formerly known as Cool Mini or Not.
CMON.
Yes.
CMON.
Come on, man.
That's true. It does kind of look like come on sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. Onto the game.
Yes.
Raise Your Goblets. This is, first off, the main thing that caught my attention was the components. Those goblets are really neat. I especially like the little coat of arms on the front, and all the tokens that you're distributing throughout. So which represent wine, poison, antidotes, different things like that. Basically. You represent these different noble families in this kingdom at a dinner party, and you're trying to poison your target, which is determined by a card that's dealt to you, and it's made known.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I was so confused about the first time we played it. I went, Are you sure we're supposed to do this? We're supposed to put the card out there and show who your enemy is. So basically, somebody's after you and exactly who it is.
I know I get rules wrong a lot, but I was very sure about that one.
Right. And it's a lot of fun of
there's the different actions.
Placing tokens in goblets, moving them around. Some people have special abilities because apart from which family you are, you also get a specific noble, and they have different abilities. And one of our friends was able, for one game, to say, "Avert your eyes," and all of us had to cover our eyes while he did or didn't do something. And oh man, that was. Oh, that came in clutch sometimes.
This one, I didn't know what to expect with this one, really. Like you said, really only took a chance on it based on the components. But this one's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Really enjoyed this one. I can go up to 12 people. I don't know if I would recommend that because then you have to play in pairs. But I think
we haven't tried it yet, though.
No, but
because even if you are in pairs, the other person has a special ability, too.
Right.
They're your taste tester kind of thing. It's really neat. And it's just a lot of fun. The artwork is great on those cards.
Well, this is another great pair-up by Cool Mini or Not and Horrible Games.
Yes.
I feel like that's a great pairing of two wonderful companies. So
they put some great stuff out.
Yeah. At 59, we've placed Deception, Murder in Hong Kong from Grey Fox Games. This is a great. I love the player count on this one.
This is a game. Doesn't it have our most plays?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once we started logging our plays of games, and there are some games we don't log. A lot of times when we're reviewing a game, we may not record every play of that. But with this one, we're just playing this one for fun. This is the game we've recorded most plays of.
I think basically because when you play it, you immediately go, okay, let's
play it again. Because you want to switch around the roles.
Yeah.
You want someone else to be the
You want to get new tiles out, new evidence out.
Yeah.
You want to try all those different things.
Well, there's so much variety in this one because you've got all the different types of cards. You've got the means of motive, or the means of murder, and the opportunity cards, whatever they're called. There's so many in there that every time you play, you've got different cards out on the table. And then you've got those different tiles that have the different types of clues that the forensic investigator is going to be using to tell who the murderer is and who the murder weapons are and all that, and it's a really fun experience.
Yes.
It's
with all sorts of groups too.
Exactly, and that's another reason why we've played it so much, is because we can pretty much break this out with anybody. I played this at work with non-gamers. And it's really frustrating sometimes as a clue giver, because sometimes you're stuck with these tiles that have absolutely nothing to do with the cards that were chosen by the murderer, and then you have to really get creative with those clues and kind of build this narrative of what happened in your mind and use
so
that.
true.
But I enjoy that aspect of it, I really do. And so we really enjoy Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Next on our list, we get a little dice rolling action in with Sagrada from Floodgate Games. I have always been drawn to this game for the dice and how pretty it is. It's so colorful. And I think they did such an excellent job of actually capturing what the cathedral at Sagrada. Oh my gosh, it's just so true to it. The way the light streaming through those gorgeous windows, the vibrancy of the color is captured perfectly in these player boards and in these dice.
Right, exactly. As I was about to say, the translucent dice with the different colors it's great to look at for sure.
Right, and there's, I mean, you can have the game explained to you, but there's more to it than meets the eye, I think.
Oh, definitely.
With the special help you can get, whether or not to use your tokens for those things, and then all the special ways of scoring your dice at the end of the game.
So basically you're using those dice to build this stained glass window, and what I thought was really neat that I didn't expect is you have to start from the outside and build your way in, which is cool. You can't just go, and there are lots of restrictions on what dice can go where, so you have to be real strategic about the drafting phase, which dice to choose and where to place them, how to optimize, maximize your points.
It's very true.
Very enjoyable.
And we're just so glad to have it on our list. That's Sagrada.
Number 57 is one that was really pretty early on in our gaming career.
Oh yeah, we've had this in our shelf for a long time.
Yes, and we've enjoyed it ever since, and that is Small World from Days of Wonder.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed this one so much that we got the app, and we've enjoyed playing the app version of this. One of the things that's really unique about this game is just every time you play, those characters, the different classes, the races, and then whatever their description is, like
faction.
Whatever it is, it's different every time. The combinations of those, and sometimes you get a really very powerful combination of those, and so everyone's like waiting for it to get cheaper and cheaper as it comes up that line, but. You gotta make that right decision about when to go and decline. That's the trickiest part of this game.
It certainly is.
Because after you spread out your forces onto this map, you're wanting to try to control these areas. After you get too spread too thin, you have to start making this decision of, okay, do I need to go into decline? Basically,
pick a new
race, and then all of these other ones will start to slowly but surely fall off the board. But you may really like the race that you're using and their special abilities, and
some of them have a special ability even when they're in decline.
Right.
And there's a lot of different factors there.
And this is, of course, with this being Days of Wonder, it's a pretty easy to teach game, and they've got the great player aids.
Their player aids are always primo, and I appreciate them, and they're very much needed in their games.
Yeah, and so this one's great, and we really enjoy this one. That's Small World.
At 56 on our list from Queen Games is Escape Curse of the Temple. I really enjoy real-time games.
Yes,
I'm finding.
I think this was like our first real good foray into real-time games.
I would agree, and I think it's a great place to start.
Exactly.
This was a good game to start on real-time.
Yeah.
And because we've definitely found some other real-time games that are not a good place to start.
Exactly.
They're just so complex. Yeah. Anyway, in Escape Curse of the Temple, it's got like an Indiana Jones kind of feel to it, and trying to disperse these gems throughout this temple with your dice rolling. But there's a time limit. You have to go out and explore the temple and get back to the entrance before the doors lock down, or you'll lose a dice.
But you can't move unless you roll certain symbols.
Or you can also lock up your dice and somebody has to come unlock you.
And which is the worst if you're as far away as possible from that center tile, and someone has to come save you.
Because you have to spread out to get the tiles laid out to find the exit for the end of the game.
So that you can escape.
Right. It's there's a lot going on. And then when you add in the curses and treasures, wow.
But I think after you get that base game under your belt, adding those in, there's really no other way to go, really. I like the addition of those.
Yes. Even as ridiculous as some of them are.
Yes.
If you drop a dice off the table or something, you have to hold your hand on top of your head for the rest of the round or something. Yeah. They're pretty brutal. But
it's definitely going to get your heart pounding.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's a quick 10-minute game.
True.
So great to get out, and a blast every time we play.
Right. That's Escape, Curse of the Temple.
Another game with a real-time element that we've really grown to enjoy is London Dread, and that's at number 55 on our list. Now this one's great. It's got some great thematic elements to it. It really builds the game on some literary fiction styles that we both enjoy, whether that's Edgar Allan Poe or H.P. Lovecraft, or even to an extent
Arthur Conan
Doyle. Yeah. So basically, it's a cooperative game. There's a programming real-time aspect of the game that's first, where you've got a map of London and you're trying to go around London to plan out when you're going to these encounters, and some of these encounters need multiple people to do.
Right, so you have to meet up at the correct time, and they have to be done at a certain time of day.
Right.
And
but you have to program it before you actually do it. So someone may accidentally place that they're going to that location at a different time than you, and if you don't cross up at the same time, you can't complete it.
Well, and you can only use some of those numbers twice.
Right.
And so at some points that you end up going, I can't go there. I've already used that up. Or you're getting down to the end of the countdown for the real time, and you don't want to waste your movements, but you've got these extra tiles laying out. I'm not. What we always say is, I'm taking a nap whenever we get to that hour, just because we weren't able to schedule anything there.
And what I like is that it's broken up into those two segments essentially. You've got those 12 minutes essentially of that, we got to do this, what are we going to do? But then after that, you can take a breath and then basically resolve everything. And then just see how messed up you are.
Yes.
But the story aspect of it, the text, the flavor text on the cards, it's real immersive. The artwork, the app has the background noises and stuff with the built-in timer. Yes, exactly. The only reason why this isn't higher is because the end game situation, where essentially all that you've done up to a certain point comes down to one roll of X number of dice, and if you don't get the number of successes, well, that's it. Which, it doesn't really, for us, it's like, oh, we still had a good time anyway.
Yeah.
But they are apparently coming out with a revised edition that kind of tweaks that a little bit. So we are excited to see what that does.
Definitely.
But this is a great one, especially if you're a fan of that genre and you like that style of game. We definitely recommend this one, and that's London Dread.
54 on our list is for Flashpoint from Indie Board and Cards. And this is another game that we've had on our shelf for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's another one that we can introduce to lots of people. I think it's a very accessible theme and style of play.
Yeah, it's the same way to something like Pandemic. Same, cooperative feel of you've got X number of actions, and here are the certain things you can do on your turn, and then after each turn, the game fights back. In this case, by spreading fire around your house.
Yeah.
But it's real great to use those different special abilities and work cooperatively. So how do we best maximize what you can do best with what I can do best, and really save these people to get them out of this house? It's really good. And this is one that we've had for so long that that map, the one that it comes with, is starting to get a little stale, and I really would like to branch out and try some of the other. And that's what I like about this. You've got all the different building maps that you can use on it.
Definitely. And even when we went from just the basic family play to using the actual roles of each of the firefighters, really enhanced the gameplay.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like I say, it's so accessible, and I really enjoy that this is something we can pull out with just any crowd, pretty much.
Well, and it's good, too, again, because this is one of those that you can scale in difficulty, and I find that it can get pretty difficult. I think one of the things that is most difficult is when your house starts to crumble on itself, and you get those damage cubes out there, and it's not necessarily that you're losing people, it's that the house is caving in on you. That's how we lose more often than not.
And I feel like once you get past a certain point, it just gets worse and worse, and you start losing exponentially more of those damage
It kind of cracks you up, too, where the fires will sprout up. Oh, someone's smoking in the bathroom or something.
Yeah, there's a bathroom that's closed off, and then boop, the toilet caught fire.
Yes, so that's a fun element of this game. But it's a great one, and one that we're glad to have and we'll probably have for a very long time. And that's Flashpoint Fire Rescue. At number 53, sometimes you'll go into a store, and this is not very frequently these days, at least for us. But back in the day, we'd go into the store and buy a game sight unseen, basically. Pick up a game, that looks neat.
Just walk through the store, see it on the shelf, and oh, that looks really cool.
And sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. This time, it definitely worked in our favor. And this is Mascarade from Repos Productions. This is just a really great large group game.
It's very good for large groups.
Yes, goes up to 13 people, I believe, and or 12 or 13. And it's just, everybody has, and it really takes the idea of a masquerade. So you go to this party, and everybody's wearing a mask, and you don't know who's who, because they're wearing a mask. But some things can happen during the party where maybe people switch masks, and someone who you thought was...
Switch roles,
is in the game, yes. And so what you thought was the case is no longer the case. So that's really what's happening.
Or they don't even know who they are anymore.
Exactly. Now that might be just because someone had a little too much to drink at the party. But that's exactly the case in this game. Everybody's got a role to start with, but each role has a special ability, like take X number of coins from this person or swap coins with somebody. The goal is to get to a certain number of coins, and whoever gets there first wins. And you utilize the special ability of these certain roles.
But the best part is if you think that somebody's bluffing about what role they are.
Yeah, well, that's where I was getting at, is you can use that role even if you use that ability even if you're not that role.
If you're brave.
Yeah.
If you don't think anybody will call you out on it, because they can call you out on it, you can say, I'm the king, which the king, as their action, gets to take 3 coins from the pot. And somebody else can say, no, I'm the king, and go all around the table, see who thinks they're the king, and then you have to flip over your card and reveal who you are. And if you were just bluffing and you weren't the king, you've got to put money into the court, or that's definitely a nerve-wracking moment.
What's an excellent feeling is if you know you're about to win, and you know that you have the role that's going to make it happen, and there's nothing anybody can do to you to stop you, and you just know you're sitting there waiting for your turn, knowing that when it comes to you, you're going to win the game. And that's happened very infrequently, but it's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, you've got to be careful of making that appearance, because then somebody could just on their turn swap your card.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not swap your card.
Good point. Again, this is another very accessible game, very enjoyable. We really enjoy this one. A beautiful game, excellent artwork, very portable, small box game. We really enjoy this one, and that's Mascarade.
All right, we're getting to the end of this. We're getting close to the end of this segment. We've still got 2 more. So at 52 is Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu from Z-Man Games.
Our first appearance of Pandemic on this list.
Yes.
It will not be the last, I promise.
Yes. We like all the iterations.
We do.
And I will say that one of the things in particular that I like about this, I think that they did a great job of taking Pandemic, but making it unique to Lovecraft genre.
Exactly.
Making those two things fit together with the cultists spreading, with the gates opening.
With the Shoggoths.
Yes.
With the sanity die.
Oh, yeah.
It really does, and I know people have argued this point, and that's fine, but for me, it feels like a different game.
Right.
Like, you're still doing the pandemic-y things, but like you said, they've added in so much, just enough stuff from the Cthulhu mythos to make it feel different. And you've got to strategize in a different way, especially with those great old ones at the top that have special abilities.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Exactly. Too. And so I really enjoy that. And that's the thing is, like, with these different ones, for me, yeah, you can rank them, one's better than the other, but they're still all great.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all
unique.
Yeah, they're all cooperative. I mean, the one thing I love about this one is you've got those little miniatures. This is a great production, too. It's not just wooden pawns or plastic pawns. It's miniatures of your characters.
And the cultists.
Yeah, and the cultists and the Shoggoths.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love that your character can go insane, and it reduces their ability. And just the whole the board. I love the board.
That map of Arkham is really neat.
Yes, this is an excellent take on Pandemic.
It's a different iteration, so that I can truly say, there are people, I guess they just haven't even tried them, that say, once you've played one Pandemic, you've played them all. No, you haven't. They are all so unique.
Yeah.
I think you should try them all.
Definitely.
But this definitely earned its spot on our list, number 52, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu.
This last one, at number 51, is a perfect example of maybe giving a game a try after the first time you play it. If you don't get too bad of a taste in your mouth. I first played this game a long time ago when it was one of its earlier, before it was published by Fantasy Flight. And this is Cosmic Encounter. And when I played that earlier edition, I was like, this is really weird. I don't...
Really?
Yes.
I know. This is a brand new story to me.
And my friend was actually obsessed with it, and to the point to where he bought the Fantasy Flight edition, and then that's how I gave it a second try, and then I was like, okay, I like this game a lot. And then you played it and you like it.
I like it a lot. We haven't talked about this much on our podcast.
We haven't.
I don't think we've ever talked about it
at
all, mainly because
we haven't played it since we started the podcast, really.
Well, it's been a while, and I kind of feel like maybe Tom talks about it enough.
Yes. Yeah.
He's got it covered for us. But we are definitely Cosmic Encounter fans. Do we own any of the expansions?
We don't own any of the expansions.
And I still enjoy it, just the base game.
Yeah.
All those different, we haven't even played with all of the alien races. There's no way we have.
No, we haven't. And because some of them they range in difficulty level, and that's one of the reasons why, is we haven't even scratched the surface of the most difficult level, the red level ones.
I will say that's partly because every time we play it with new people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and so it's kind of hard to do that. So we really need to get that with some regular gamers.
But this has so much going on in it. You've got your alien that has its own special ability, but then you have those different like flare cards that do different things, and then basically it comes down to alliances and partnerships are very fleeting in this game, and that's another thing I enjoy about it, is that one turn you may be helping out this person next to you, but the next turn you're going full force against them, trying to colonize their system.
So true.
And it's a great game. I don't know really anything else to say about it other than that, and we enjoy it every time we play it.
Who doesn't love playing with those tiny little flying saucers?
I do wish that maybe it doesn't really work this way because you can't have alliances with a two-player game, but it would be neat if there's probably somebody who's created a two-player variant on it, maybe.
Like a co-op?
No, not a co-op.
Oh,
but like
two-player.
Head-to-head style. I don't know. It would be neat to figure that out. But, but probably not, because now that I talk about it, it doesn't make... Because what makes the game is those...
those words have come out.
Yes, maybe I shouldn't have said it at all. What makes the game is those alliances, and then those crushing...
I mean, it's just a point of... There are some times that there is no way you would have won that fight. If you hadn't had that person backing you up.
And what's great is sometimes that person will kind of lead you on when they're playing their cards of their attack numbers.
They might be tricky and play a card that It totally wipes you out of the equation.
Or you've got those negotiate cards where you play like your highest powered card. Oh yeah, I've got this in the bag, but then your opponent plays a negotiate card, and then you've just wasted it. So there's so much that can happen in this game.
But then sometimes your alien ability can negate that.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. All those different factors. We really enjoy it. Artwork is really good.
It is.
They did such a great job creating unique aliens.
Yeah, they all look different.
They're unique. And they're so fitting to their race, the name of their race. I mean, they just perfectly embody it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. I like reading the little backstories to my aliens about how they became this way. I really enjoy that. And yeah, we've got to do more exploring.
Definitely.
Of Cosmic Encounter.
We're committed to it. Cosmic Encounter, our number 51. Thank you so much for joining us for numbers 60 through 51. We are now officially halfway through the list. We have 50 more excellent games to talk about. We're excited to share them with you. But in the meantime, make sure you are all linked up with us on all of our social media accounts. What are those, Lara?
On Twitter, you can find us at MarriedWithBG, Instagram at MarriedWithBG, Facebook.com/MarriedWithBG, and links to all of those can be found on our website, MarriedWithBG.com, as well as our blog and our podcast.
That is so true. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.